Hello, everyone. This is Mesha with Akasa Living. I'm still adjusting to that. And I'm so honored today because, well, we met doing this book over a year ago now.
I was just thinking that.
And we have been like through so much, you on the West Coast, me in the middle of the country, messaging, talking all hours. Yet it's taken this long to get you here. My soul sister, my cosmic sister, my friend, my partner in crime, my mirror, my the one whose voice always makes me smile and my heart sing. Thank you for being my friend, Lisa Eddy.
Thank you for having me here, Mesha. It's been such a pleasure. I can't believe it's been a year since we wrote that book together.
I know. And I referenced you in the second book, although it was kind of a conglomeration of a conversation we had. I referenced you in it even. And so yeah. Lisa, you are like, I was a hairdresser, you were a salon owner. I mean, we talk about our lives, and one of us goes, "You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe." Of course, now we're to the point where we're just like, "Yeah, we do." But I mean, it is like, and that's how it has been for us. But yes, there are so many things. I mean, you're award-winning this and a that and all those things. But instead of me using my words to say it, because I've already told the world what I think of you, you're amazing. You tell us about Lisa Eddy, who she's been and where she's going, because the whole world is in transition. And I have been with you on your transition journey this past year or so and watched you blossom through it and go through it with grace and with class and with such strength and with such vulnerability and humility and dignity. And I'm honored to have done so. And so I want you to tell the world who Lisa has been and who Lisa is and who Lisa is becoming, because she's as impressive as hell, girl. So, Lisa Eddy, tell Akasa Living and the world all about you.
Okay, so you mentioned that I have been in the beauty business and I was a salon owner, former salon owner now for years. I've been in the beauty business for 25 years and
Yeah.
I have over 20 years I owned a salon. So that was how my journey started, was with the physical beauty and the connection. It's such a connection getting to work so close with people, right? I think that lights me and you up,
It
and
does.
right, and getting that, even that touch that I would do in treatments, right? And so my work evolved as I was working really closely with people. I started developing my spiritual gifts and strengthening my intuition, and this, as I was evolving. And it's funny, I was reflecting on this the other day. My skincare business, my first business, was Lotus Skin and Body Care. And for those of you who don't know, the lotus flower represents the highest level of spiritual consciousness and evolution, and this beautiful, strong, radiant, powerful flower that comes out of the muck. Like, no mud, no
Yes.
lotus, right?
Yeah, out of the muck, literally. It's like without the mud and the muck, without the you can't have this beautiful, strong, not fragile, but strong flower.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
just, it's fitting that you shared that you were, supporting me on my journey of having been through some very tumultuous times, like many of us are going through right now, and
All of
especially
us, yes,
all
all
of
of
us,
us.
all of us,
Yes. All of
and
us.
to different degrees. And thank you for that
Yes.
correction. It's different degrees. And I feel and see often that people who are carrying a big torch to make big impact in the world often get gifted with very intense opportunities or more opportunities to rise. And often that comes through pain or turmoil. It doesn't always have to, but it can be a fast track to an awakening, a cracking open. That's the way the light gets in, right? So I'll
Right.
backtrack now and tell you about choosing the name Lotus Skin and Body Care. that I realized as I was reflecting with a girlfriend recently, not only was that my commitment to deepening my spiritual practice as I was 27, right? The power number of 9, opening my
9,
business.
right? 27, there you go.
So not only was that for me, but what she reflected back to me was like everyone who was called to Lotus Skin and Body Care, that was also for their growth and consciousness as well. And I was like, of course, I know this. I hadn't thought of it in that way. So my practice, my business, my work started shifting where I was getting to work closely with these people, and I'm delving into my spiritual work and cleaning up my act in many, many ways. And I'm looking at skin and I start to see when people are not nourished internally, when there's, issues going on that then come out the skin, or when they're devitalized and their skin is not radiant, when they're carrying a lot of heavy emotions, when they're heartbroken, when their energy is just whack, as per the episode that you and I did. Ever feel like your energy is whack? Indeed.
Yes, indeed.
And so I started then really studying nutrition, became a Reiki energy practitioner and a breathwork coach. So I kept developing different skills to serve my clients, to help them be the best, highest version of themselves as I was growing as well. So again, the business also being a fast track to spiritual growth and evolution, just like parenting and just like a marriage or any really close relationship or a business partnership, right? That reflects back to us your own stuff big time.
Well, because there is no separation. So many people talk about, well, you've got to keep work and family separate, and work and you got to separate out. You've got to separate. But no, we can't compartmentalize that, because everything is one, and everything does affect everything else. And this is kind of what we talked about this morning, is how we don't have different ways we behave, or different beings that we are because of different roles. We have who we are, and then we have the roles that fit, or that we behave a certain way in because of who we are. So our business is going to run a certain way because of the home life we have. And the home life we have is going to be a certain way because of who we are to begin with. I mean, all of those things, they all have to come in harmony together. We can't have this, on the one hand, I want this career, and on the other hand, I want this kind of love, and on the other hand, I want to be this kind of mom, and on the other hand, I want to be this kind of daughter, and then try to take all those roles and mesh them together somehow, because then we have a hodgepodge that pulls us in all kinds of directions, and we end up never being us. We have to be us, and then all of these things that we energetically manage those, and then we shine in all of them as ourselves, glowing whenever we're using Lisa's skincare products.
Masha knows firsthand.
Yes, Masha does. Yeah, she loves them too. My mom was like, "What's this stuff?" And I'm like, you use your stuff."
You're like, "It's not for you."
It's not for you.
That's so funny. I have so many women tell me that their husbands love my creams, their raw organic skin food that I have created. And I guess that's one of the things I could tell you about too, is that, so in addition to, having my work morphed, I then ended up creating a skincare line where I have a few creams and oil. They're all oil based, but one oil and a few creams that are really concentrated, deeply nourishing and hydrating, safe and non-toxic. So that's Lisa Eddy Skin Food. I did the COVID pivot and became a podcaster. So I have the Sacred Beauty Lifestyle podcast.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And we did the epic episode.
Right?
Yes.
That was so fun. If you haven't listened to that, you have to listen to the episode with Masha, the Sacred Beauty Lifestyle. It's on all the popular platforms, and it's, I don't know the number offhand, but it's Ever Feel Like Your Energy is Whack.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Yes, and we just kept going and going and going. Imagine that. But that's because we were in our energy of being who we are, which is what I was just saying. And that's what you do. You stay in the energy of who you are. And so that's what you were doing. You were a salon owner, coming into the energy of who you are, helping your clients come into the energy of who they were. And then your life was evolving as your energy was evolving, which is what we're all doing. And you were open to that. Whereas many people were resisting that. and trying to, okay, the world is shifting and I'm not fitting anymore. And you were like, hold on, no, this is a paradigm shift. This is change and it's good. And so,
Absolutely. I absolutely trust my intuition and was ready when to just roll with it when the big C hit, March 2020. And I had a salon, a skincare studio doing facials and body detox and sculpting and spray tanning in a very prominent neighborhood in San Francisco, Cow Hollow Marina. And we got the notification we were shutting down, and within 2 weeks I put in my notice. I was like, it's time for me to make the shift that has been calling on my heart for some time, which really was doing like the podcast, like speaking engagements, which I'm doing now, and teaching on a grander scale, which I'm doing now, through group programs, and writing. Like, we wrote that book together 1 year ago.
I know. I know. And you've got more writing in you. I know.
I'm working on something now. So that's coming soon. I'm sharing my secrets.
Yeah. I mean, that is all so amazing. So you've morphed into all of these things and you're giving us an insight into what you're going to become. But I know Lisa, the person, is so multifaceted and so multi-layered and all of those things. So when you talk about sacred beauty, okay, you had the lotus flower in mind to begin with, that came, and at that time you kind of didn't know why it was coming out of the muck. You knew that, but what is sacred beauty? What does that mean?
So sacred could be related to really intentional in this term.
Yeah.
Really, obviously, special is the word that's coming to mind, but like amplifying the beauty in the divine way is what I would say, and really using like your beauty as your like your beauty skincare regimen, and taking time to take care of yourself as a way to nurture yourself, as a way to self-care. But really, sacred beauty, to back up a little bit, is, so I kind of defined what sacred is a little bit. And then beauty, I'm coming to this understanding right now that
was my next question is, so, okay, what is the beauty part? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is that beauty is love.
Yes.
So, yes. Right? We all have a frequency that we vibrate at. And I've been calling this for a little while now your personal beauty frequency, that you can radiate when you're owning who you really are inside and out.
Yeah.
And I also know that, when we are honing that, and we are like sort of sending the message energetically of who we are out in the world, that also paints the picture of us. That's how the picture gets filled in of how others view us and see us. So when you look at really conscious, woke, not to throw around that term, but it is a real term, people who are awake and conscious, that I always notice that they glow more. There's this inner and outer, like you can almost see the field just lit up. Like there's a different kind of shine.
They're holding more of their light frequency. Yes, they're holding more of their light frequency. They're holding their frequency. They're higher vibrational. They are aware, and that's what they're doing. You're holding more of that frequency, and it is shining. It is shining. You can't help but shine. Yeah.
And we are all meant to shine like children do, as Marianne Williamson says. And a lot of times that we received messages that had us cut off from parts of ourselves that we believed were bad or wrong, or we weren't supposed to look this way because that's not what society says, or maybe your sister got a lot more attention for how she looked than you did, and that created an imprint of I'm not enough or good enough. Or you may have had comments like I have had from a boyfriend who said to me at one point, is, you have thighs like my sister. So we pick up these imprints, and then sometimes we hone them and own them as if they are our own. So we have these beliefs. So we're cutting off pieces of us, and then we get self-conscious, and we get insecure, and we self-loathing even starts building, like the more we deviate from who we are and the more we believe these mistruths about ourselves.
Yes.
Right? That
Yes.
right? So I feel like you're totally getting what I'm saying.
I am totally getting it. Yeah. The light that we are, that frequency as it shines out, it's like the pixels. Gabrielle and I talked about this the other day. It's like the more and more pixels there are in a picture. And so the portrait of us, the walking, living, breathing portrait of us is, the it shines brighter and brighter and brighter. But when those type things happen in one way or another, they energetically block the light that we are from shining in. And so we become duller and duller and duller. And it reflects in so many ways. It reflects in our actions. It reflects in our confidence, what we feel we can do, what we actually do. But it also reflects in our health, but also in our appearance. So appearance does matter. Appearance represents how healthy we are or are not, and whether or not we feel like we look good or not. Because people can tell you, oh, looks don't matter. They matter to you because they're your confidence. We're not confident if we don't feel like we look good. And what looks good to me may not look good to you. But if I feel confident about it, then I'm going to look good wearing it. I'm going to own it, And if I think I look good in that and you don't, then and if you think you look good in that and I don't, that's not what matters. What matters is how I'm shining in it. And that's where we've come to. I remember growing up how it was, oh, you can't wear that. What will people think? It doesn't matter what other people think. That's an old paradigm. That is the people in the freaking cheap seats. And I'm so tired of the people in the cheap seats, because this seat is what matters. This seat, my seat, and how I'm going to feel in it. Because unless I'm okay, unless I'm healthy, happy, whole, and complete, I can't put out the vibrational frequency that is going to raise the planet's frequency so you can be healthy, happy, whole, and complete. When we were all tearing each other down, we were spiraling downward. When we all are lifting ourselves up and putting that energy out, we are self-healing, and we are healing everyone else at the same time.
Thank you. Amen. Aho, ashe. Because there was a misconception that there's not enough, right? Like if you have like abundance, if you have this much, then I don't get any. So there was the idea, we were taught someone had to be like squashed in order for someone else to rise. But it's such a misconception. It's like when we lift somebody else up, or when we lift ourselves up, even, for example, because we're really responsible for ourselves. When we lift ourselves up, we invite others to meet us there. We become something to aspire to, like, oh, I can live that way. Oh, I can make that choice. And that is totally okay.
Absolutely. That is what Every Life Was a Story was about initially, was live your life in the open, vulnerably, talk about it so others can see and say exactly what you did. Oh, wow, something like that happened to me, but look at her or look at him. But we know now it's even so much more than that. It's also the butterfly effect of our frequency going up, and us holding that frequency raises everybody else's vibrational frequency. Whereas before, the butterfly effect we were in was just the opposite. We were all pulling one another down all the time. Somebody would get up, and then, as you said, it would be like, well, they're going to have more than me. It was competition, and it was dog eat dog, and I've got to be top dog, and et cetera, et cetera. And now when it's just, no, everybody's supposed to shine. Now, maybe shine in different ways, but everybody is supposed to shine. And when everybody is shining in the way they're supposed to, then it just keeps spiraling upward.
Everybody's winning. So because life is supposed to feel good. We're supposed to be joyful. We're supposed to have everything we want. And back to that's like the frequency of joy, beauty, love, gratitude. Like they're all very similar frequencies, right? That's why I came to like, oh, beauty is love. And you know what else I was kind of working with a little bit too is like beauty is communication.
If we don't communicate, girl, if we don't communicate how can we have any of this if we sit in silence? If we sit in silence, we are keeping all that energy to ourselves. And then we're just creating this small energy loop that has nothing feeding into it, and it will implode and fizzle out. We have to communicate. Yes.
And clearly, like clarity. I was joking recently, and I actually say this often, but I was in an interview the other day, and I said I think I'm going to change my name to my middle name to Clarity, because it's so important to me. And when you are really clear, like, that's light. Light is wisdom. Light is information. Light is clarity. Light is truth. Like, talking about frequencies again, that's all that, right? And so being
Right.
really
Yes.
clear. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, how often you and I will message, but you and I speak the same language and feel one another's energy, and seldom get tripped up in that, because our energies are so close, et cetera, et cetera. But even with that, we do a lot of vocal messaging so we can hear, and one, because our frequencies light each other up. And so we do it for that reason, but also for clarity. But we also video, and we also Zoom, because the more of each other's light that we get, the more clarity there is. I mean, you wouldn't believe the people that I refuse to. I had someone call me the other day and say, it's somebody that I feel their energy much like I do yours. And like, will you feel into my energy and tell me? I say, no. I said, if you can Zoom, when you can Zoom, I will. I said, but there's been changes. I haven't dealt with you in a bit. And no, because, and then I'll be that gum. I zapped off a little like follow up to something that was said. And it came back with, and I'm like, and this is why I don't even do follow-ups with typed words, is because you took it exactly the opposite of what I meant. Of course, it was all lighthearted. It wasn't a bad thing, and we had a conversation in the phone today and cleared it up, and it wasn't a bad thing. But this was somebody that I know well, and our energies resonate well. If it's somebody that you get tripped up with easily, no, you want as much light. You want as much light and as much energy in it as possible.
That's why I'm a huge fan of voice memos and old school phone calls and connecting in this way, because I think
the video calling we do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that there's such a disconnect sometimes between the text message. I want to thank you for something that you shared, because while I was coming to the same conclusion, I hadn't thought, and I was even thinking of it filling in, like I was seeing the cells, but it's like pixels, like that's what I was seeing. Yeah. I didn't know what I was seeing until you said that. So thank you for completing that for me. And there's something else you asked me that I want to share with you before I know we're going to wrap it up here in a few minutes. You asked me, so what am I doing now, or what am I passionate about?
Yes. What are you doing now? I got a glimpse of it here, but I really, I'm kind of, I want to hear all about this. How do we become a magnetic face? What does that mean?
Well, I realized with a lot of the work that I was doing, like I was just sharing with you, like through how my work had morphed, and I worked with thousands of women in this 25 years, right? In many different capacities, but a lot of hands-on healing and very intimate relationships and coaching. And what I came to see is that so many powerful, beautiful, smart, kind women are hiding in some parts of their lives because they shut off, as I was talking about earlier, disconnect from themselves because whatever messages they received and believed. Ooh, received and believed. I like that.
Received and believed. So stop believing.
Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype, right? Don't believe what the people in the cheap seats are selling, because they've got ulterior motives, folks. Yeah. So go ahead.
So what they had, believed and then owned, and how that discord really had them feeling self-confident, not able to take the steps they want in their everyday lives, in their careers, in their relationships. And so, it was such a beautiful evolution. I've always sort of worked with entrepreneurs and healers, like probably like you probably, I'm imagining, attract a lot of healers to you.
Yes.
You're the practitioner I was the esthetician or practitioner for the light beings, the therapists, the doctors, whether it's an acupuncturist, chiro, those are all my clients, right?
Yeah. All of you come to me.
And the holistic entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. So a lot of female entrepreneurs, and I would find that, they needed help rebuilding their confidence. And
Yeah.
because of what I have been through, like I've been knocked around a little bit, which is such a gift because I took it as an opportunity and rose above it. And when you do that, that's when you can really say, okay, come with me. So I think what you were starting to ask what I'm doing is how to become the magnetic face of your business with a video confidence incubator, because we need to be on video these days. This is how we connect.
It is. And that way, the more and more that light we're holding, the more and more it can shine, and the better we communicate, and the more we are putting our frequency out and raising the vibrational frequency. And because I love getting your messages. I love hearing your voice. I love it even more when we get to do this, because it's like I got my Lisa fix, and it is, vibration goes up, and it is just, but I'll get your little Misha, hello beauty, and I'm like, oh, there's Lisa, and so, but yes, seeing you glow and seeing your brightness and seeing and feeling it, I mean, we can feel the energies this way. And so, yes, so that's magnetic. So how do we get that, Lisa?
So you have to come to my class. So I
have to come to my class.
I'm joking, not joking, but I am offering a free training on Facebook, yes, a 4-day series, helping to remove some of the blocks, even if you've never been on video. Like, sometimes people like me morphed and did the COVID pivot as well, and want to get their message out, but they don't like the way they look, feel, or sound on video. And you can't be a success and be a secret, or you can't be a secret and be a success, right? So, and even if it's just a mom, not just a mom, oh God, that's like one of the hardest jobs ever. Delete. Even if you're a mom at home, I meant just as in like not in working in a career and have a
yes,
huge imprint on your heart to make a difference in the world as well. Your message matters too. And so getting in front of camera is often a great way to do that. So I created this course to help, them break on through the other side, to feel truly radiant and confident and powerful.
I drew this card today in the Starseed deck about our double mission as light worker and Starseed, and how we're here to serve the world by being ourselves. And what I wrote to someone today was that, especially when we feel the vastness of our cosmic self, in contrast to the limitations sometimes so evident in the here and now, the light body is more expansive, but it relates to us in our feeling, being experience. This is the sacred geometry of it. Whenever we are going through hard times as light workers, as healers, or as moms who are light workers, because chances are they're raising a star seed. That is not easy, a light worker. That is not easy to be a mom to one of those. I mean, that is a calling to do. That is a double mission. We're all here on double missions. We're doing cosmic and earth duty. And sometimes we're more comfortable with the cosmic role than we are the earth role. And sometimes we're more comfortable with the earth role than the other. But the sacred geometry of it is that the frequency of both has to be the same. So when we're confused about which frequency we're supposed to be in, go to the default. And the default is always be yourself.
That's what I teach people. Thank you for that card. There's so much you just pulled in. Is that was what I started doing. When I started getting on video, I felt like I had to be an actress. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was watching all these other people, but that was what was happening years ago. It was a facade. There was a lot of, and not that that's still not happening, but I'm seeing more and more authenticity and more people like us out there who are really speaking deep truths these days.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to be, and I was trying. So that's what I like to help people do too, is to really be all of who they are. And like you're saying, when you're not, we are actually robbing other people of having their highest, best experience on this planet, because we all play a role to help each other evolve and grow.
Absolutely. Unless we are feeling that frequency that is ours to feel, then the butterfly effect that we are here to be putting out is not the correct one. We're not where we're supposed to be, where we said, hey, yeah, let's all go down there and let's do this together and let's have this beautiful life. And I'll be here, here, and here, and you'll be there, there, and there. And it's all gonna, and oops, I'm not there. And so somebody's waiting and somebody's over there, and then somebody's waiting there. And the butterfly effect from that is chaotic energy. And so So yes, we want to be in our frequency as much as we can be. And so that is why this, the mask that we wear and the facades that we put on and the roles that we played and all of those things, that's why those don't work. I mean, it looked pretty and it sounded right, but most things I found that really worked are counterintuitive, that it is really not what sounds like it's going to work, but it's just the opposite. And that when we surrender to being all that we came here to be, this light being we came to be, that's when we all get everything. When we stop thinking there's not enough, that's when we realize there's enough for everyone. And to have the magnetic face of your business, be your magnetic self every moment, every day, and you will attract for your business, you'll attract it for every part of your life, and you'll be putting out the right vibrational frequency for everyone else to be the magnetic face they're supposed to be, with all their pixels in place.
And when women are empowered, we empower women. And so that's another part of my huge imprint, is to help women when they're owning all of who they really are, inner and outer beauty. That's when they can get on camera and be themselves. That's when they can do and make the impact that they came here to make in the world. That's how we raise the vibe. That's how we change the planet.
You are so dead on, which is why, Lisa Eddy, and I'm so glad that you said yes to this. And of course, it doesn't come with like a list of expectations. It doesn't come with like a schedule. All it comes with is you show up and be you in whatever capacity you're in, whenever it works for you, such as now, that you are one of a case of living's ascended masters, and a case of living ascended master. That's one of our people, is because this is what you do. This is how you shine for the world, and you understand how to help others become their magnetic face that is them. And so I am so honored that you are here, and whatever capacity that ever works for you, that is the capacity that I want people here, that this is meant to be, is because if we put you in a box, then we're not letting you ascend and be you. And so all I want is for this to be a platform for, as you are doing what you do, for you to come and shine and help others continue to shine and be their magnetic self. Want to wrap up again, tell a little people, I'm going to put these links up and you talk about them, and then we'll wrap up. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay. So here's the training.
How to be the magnetic face of your business. June 7th to 10th, the Video Confidence Incubator. She's got the link here that you can register so you won't miss a moment of it. It's 4 days, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So get that registration if you want to join to be your most beautiful, radiant, powerful self on video. And
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Beauty Lifestyle podcast. That link to the website will actually take you to any platform that you want to listen to the Sacred Beauty Lifestyle podcast on. And if you think you'd be a good fit to be a part of the podcast, reach out directly.
All right.
And Instagram, it's kind of the gram.
It's like Instagram. We're
all there. We're all there. So I'd love to see you there. I do put out some teachings and lives and some great beauty tips on Tuesdays and lives on Wednesdays. So follow where you fit in. I'd love to connect with you more. On my link tree. Thank you.
Yes.
That's in the bio and Instagram as well. And what I would like to say is thank you, Meisha, for being such an incredible woman, empowering women and men, and for sharing your platform and for shining so bright and calling others to rise up with you. It's really, really, really important and appreciated what you're doing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for mentioning, because I do feel strongly that it is all of us, not just women. Of course, women definitely need it, but the men need the support just as much as women, because men are finding it. The men who want to step up are finding the resistance from their own camp or from ancestral or that type thing. And so I'm all about supporting everyone, but certainly some women are more comfortable being supported in a women's atmosphere, and all of it's good. However it works, but absolutely we do want to support everyone. And so anything else you want to say, please don't feel hindered. We've got all the links in, we've done that. So anything you want to add, anything we didn't get to, because you are so much, there's no way to cover it all here. I'm going to have all of this course over on on A Case of Living too, so everyone can get it. And so there's just so much that is Lisa Eddy. There's no way to do it in 30 or 35 minutes. So if there's any other little tidbit about us that you want to give, if not, I do have one last question for you. But if there's something else, then go ahead.
Bring your question.
Okay. My question is this then. What I've always said with as long as you're breathing, keep living, and that is a part of this because we're living in great big capital letters, is make the end come find you on your own mountaintop. Now, one of the things that you listed was, if I were on a mountaintop, what would you find me screaming? Well, when the end comes to find you on your own mountaintop, what is that? What do you see that looking like, Lisa? I know I put you on the spot there. But.
No, it's okay. I was just like, these messages, when you first asked me what the question was or the tip was, it really keeps coming through, like, get on out there and shine. The world needs your light. Like, I feel like I'd be screaming from a megaphone, like, it's okay to shine. All you have to do is be you.
Yeah, it's okay. Just shine. Just shine. You know, I think as long as you're screaming that they're going to be hard pressed to pull you off that mountaintop. I think they're going to be like, let her shout it again. Let her shout it again. Yeah, take a coffee break, guys. She's still shouting. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to beam you out. I think they're just going to let you keep shouting.
It needs to permeate in, right? It needs to permeate in and infiltrate into the cells to know that you are worth it. You deserve it. No matter what you've been taught, what you've been through, how much you've deviated from your path, that you can still create a life you love and that you are meant to shine.
You are meant to shine. That is what you always say. So yes, thank you, Lisa Eddy, for being here. Please, you all support Lisa. All the links will be here, as you've seen. They'll be in descriptions. They will be on websites. They will be where you can get to them. And if you have any questions, contact me or contact Lisa, and we'll get you more information. And yes, always support Lisa when you see her, whatever she's doing, because that's what Lisa is about, is raising the vibrational frequency for all of us to shine. So thank you, Lisa Eddy.
Thank you, beautiful. Have a blessed day. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this.
Bye, you all.
Bye.